I'm going to read a story today that is called Dear Ella, written by Brigida O'Donnell. And the story is about my great-grandfather. So these are letters written by a young 22-year-old New Zealand farmer called Cecil Greig from Spring Grove in Nelson, New Zealand, to his sweetheart, Ella Ching. He wrote of his experiences overseas during 1918 in England and in France during World War I, where he was a stretcher bearer, but he always had hoped that he would be part of the brass band to cheer the troops overseas. Huey, who is mentioned in the letters, was a cousin named Huey Higgins, also from Spring Grove, Nelson, and he was a great friend of Cecil and Ella. Cecil and Ella went on to get married on Cecil's return to New Zealand, and they had 4 children, 16 grandchildren, and many great-grandchildren. Chapter 1, 11th of January 1918. Sling Camp, Salisbury Plain, England. My dearest Ella, just a few lines to let you know I got this far all right. I have now been in this camp about 2 days, and things seem quite strange here. It is hard to get into the running of things, but I'm sure it will be easy enough when we get settled. As far as the drill is concerned, we have done nothing, just getting fitted up, then 2 or 3 inspections. The last 2 days we were on the ship were Lokra, and a chap was admitted to the hospital. Some of us were isolated in the front of the ship, and I can tell you it was just about enough to kill us all, being in such a damp, stuffy place with scarcely any ventilation. I was very pleased to get out of there. We got the ship late in the afternoon and travelled through the night. I can't tell you anything about that trip, only that the railway line was white with snow all the way. It was about 4:30 in the morning when we arrived in Sling Camp, and we went to sleep in a great big building after we had eaten stew and a piece of bread. The food is plain but well cooked. All of us that came off that ship are in isolation here for a while. Several chaps have been taken to the hospital with measles since being here. The only one that I have seen here who I used to know is Captain A.J. White. He came in the hut to give us a few instructions. He either did not see me or perhaps wanted to speak to me personally. He is quite grey and worried looking and seemed to be limping a little. Otherwise, he is the same old Tom. It has not been snowing today, and none of the snow is left on the ground. Of course, it has been a good deal warmer, but the place is very muddy. The camps in New Zealand are 10 times better. We were drafted into different boys yesterday. The Spring Grove boys have managed to keep together, and in the same hut. We sleep on a mattress on the floor. We are issued 4 blankets. Each group has a heater per hut, so we are not so bad off, considering the hard times. Had our hair cut short again today. That and the shaving is kept very strict. Well, my dear girl, I often think about you and wonder how you are getting on. I hope you are keeping well. I have been pretty fair. They took the names of all the bandsmen they could find yesterday. I don't know what they intend to do with us. I will be able to tell you things for certain in the next letter, I hope. I think these letters are not censored now as long as they are posted in a certain place. So I will begin the next page and tell you the places which we called at. From your boy, Cecil. Kiss, kiss, kiss. So that was the first letter, written by Cecil Greig. Chapter 2, 14th of January 1918. Sling Camp, Salisbury Plain, England. My dearest Ella, just a few lines tonight to let you know I am still in the army and keeping fairly well. We have been in this muddy place for a little over a week now. A few mornings we have woken up and found the ground white with snow. Sometimes it lasts for a day or more, then clears up. Then there is a fine mess with mud everywhere that a chap goes, except on the narrow concrete paths which are along between the rows of huts. I suppose the place has improved since Archie Ching was here, yet there is plenty of room for improvements. It's nothing compared with the camps at Featherston, Trentham in New Zealand. When we first came here, we were told that we had only a few hours drill each day, but we have had more than that, about 16 hours a day. So you can see we have been busy. We don't get away too much to eat. Quite a few chaps are knocking up already. A few are trying to do what is called swinging the lead. Pretend they have got a lame leg. But they find out it's of no use pretending, as the doctors give them a pretty straight hint that if they have a weakness it would be found already in New Zealand. I saw one of them come on parade this morning without a limp, so I suppose they've given up hope. I think nearly everyone in camp caught colds, and a few being pretty crook. Our overcoats have been wet for days, and we can't get a chance to dry them. The drying rooms are filled with other clothing all the time. The sun also has been very shy since I've been living in England. The 31st and 32nd reinforcements are supposed to stay here about 9 weeks, but one of the officers are saying we may be wanted at any time. I think in the 28th reinforcement they were in the firing line, and they were soon brought back from war training in England. We are able to get a mug of soup every night at 8:30, and it is just about time. I was making off, so I will bring this letter to a close, asking that you excuse the scribble, as I have been making a table of my knees, hoping this will find you well in your peaceful little home in New Zealand. With sincere love from your true Cecil. Kiss, kiss, kiss. So that's the first two chapters, the first two letters that were written by Cecil Greig, my great-grandfather. And you can find this, which I've written it up as Dear Ella, is on Amazon.com if you'd like to read the rest. And it tells about his life overseas during 1918 and what happened to him. And it's quite interesting, I can say. So there you have it.